The Atlanta Falcons just got another pleasant surprise, and yes, it involves our boy Kirk Cousins. Now I'm going to read this tweet for you really quick and tell you what I think about it. The tweet says, several people in the league tell Tony Pauline if the Browns can't land Miami quarterback Cam Ward in the NFL draft, their starting quarterback this season is likely to be Kirk Cousins. I keep telling people out there, Kirk Cousins is going to demand. People are going to want Kirk Cousins because, like I keep saying, there aren't that many good quarterbacks out there in the league. You take your top 10, and then from there, it can get dicey. And that's why a lot of teams will be interested in Kirk Cousins, and that's why I think the Atlanta Falcons will be able to move him for some value. People may look at me and say, hey, you don't know what you're talking about. Kirk Cousins has a no-trade clause. Nobody's going to want Kirk Cousins, and I beg to differ. If you look at the current quarterback class, and you look at the teams that need quarterbacks, there is going to be demand, and simple demand and supply. If there's not enough supply for the demand, that means they're going to drive the price, and some people are going to reach and try to get the next best thing, and that is Kirk Cousins. And this ultimately will benefit the Atlanta Falcons because they will be able to trade Kirk Cousins. You mark my words. Kirk Cousins will be traded from the Atlanta Falcons, and the Atlanta Falcons will be able to move on from this saga because of the amount of interest in Kirk Cousins out there. That tweet just said it. The Browns may be interested in Kirk Cousins if they don't get Cam Ward. And another spoiler alert, the Tennessee Titans are probably drafting Cam Ward. That means the Cleveland Browns will probably end up getting Kirk Cousins. Now, there's a lot of you out there saying, that's fine, but Kirk Cousins will not waive his no-trade clause. And to that, I will say, if Kirk Cousins wants to play in the NFL ever again, he will waive his no-trade clause. If he doesn't, which he probably does, he may not, then that's fine. He'll stay on the Atlanta Falcons. Because if I'm the Atlanta Falcons, why would I waive Kirk Cousins? What benefit will it give me to waive Kirk Cousins? Kirk Cousins has been extremely, I hate to say it, selfish in his recent pursuit, not only giving the Atlanta Falcons a alleged ban because of tampering, but also coming out and saying, hey, I wasn't really healthy at the end of the season, and I'm healthy now, and I can play for another team. Just throwing everybody underneath the bus. And because of that, if I were the Atlanta Falcons, I would call Kirk Cousins' bluff and say, hey, we're not trading you, guy. If you don't want to, we're not waiving you, guy. If you don't want to get rid of or if you don't want to sign your no trade clause and allow us to trade you, you'll sit on the back end of our bench and you'll just rot. And I guarantee you this. If you think our teams are limited in trading for Kirk Cousins coming off an Achilles, coming off his terrible season, give it another year. There's going to be many teams who aren't going to willing to trade for Kirk Cousins because he's not played for a year. Kirk Cousins, if you know what's good for you, you waive your no-trade clause. Because if I'm the Atlanta Falcons, if he doesn't waive it, I say fine. That's cool. You sit behind Michael Penix, and you know what I'll even say? Go home. If you're going to mess up what we got going on, go home, sit at home. We don't care. We'll eat the money. This is our last season anyway if we suck. So what does it matter at this point? So, because of that, initially, Kirk Cousins had all the leverage in this negotiation. But as we continue to move on, and as Kirk Cousins says he wants to play, the Atlanta Falcons have some leverage because they could sit him behind Michael Penix, or they can even send him home, forcing him to sit out an entire year, which will further limit his ability to play in the NFL. Now, like I said, there is not that many good, I'm not even going to say Kirk Cousins is good. There's not that many starting level NFL quarterbacks in the league and out there right now. There's 4, 5, 6 teams who need a quarterback, and there's only like 3 or 4 available. 2 of those are rookies. One of those, they're saying Shedeur has off-the-field issues. So the fact of the matter is, Kirk Cousins will demand some interest. Now it's a matter of, will the Atlanta Falcons hold pat? Will they stay strong and say, look, Kirk, if you want to go, go. You got to waive your no trade clause. We'll see. At the end of the day, I would say it's good news for the Atlanta Falcons because regardless of what you say, Kirk Cousins is getting more and more interest. That's the second team we've heard. And as we continue to get closer and closer to draft day, and as teams start to formulate plans, Kirk Cousins will be in high demand. And the fact of the matter is, if the Atlanta Falcons could get off Kirk Cousins, pay half his salary, and get a 7th-round draft pick, that is a win in the Atlanta Falcons book, and that's something that they would do. At the end of the day, there's good on the horizon for Atlanta Falcons because they invested in their quarterback, and they got Michael Penix. And at the end of the day, we can look at Terry Fontenot. He's got a lot wrong. But him drafting Michael Penix seemed to be the right option at the moment. But if you agree or disagree with me, leave a comment down below. Let me know. And if you want to see more videos like this, check this one out right here. And like always, peace.